My husband died 3 years ago.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I know you have two young
Yes,
daughters as well. So
thank you,
I'm
Neil.
sorry.
And things were really difficult in every aspect of our lives. And one of those was that there's lots of stuff that comes with grief. And one of them is financial terror. And then there are real practicalities around your children and their mental health and supporting them, which is your priority. So going to work and doing my job is inordinately difficult. It meant there were suddenly 99% of jobs I couldn't do. And I wasn't really being offered them either. I don't know whether I don't know what vibe I was giving off, but looking back, I was probably in a state of shock and fear and a sort of heightened state for a long time, actually until very recently. And I really had to think, what can I do that means I'm separate from my children for as short time as possible? That first year was gruelling. I could hardly leave my children. And so I started doing a lot of panel shows, presenting. I just thought, I've got to keep this ship on the road. And people were and I loved it. I really loved it. You know, I've trod this road before of grief and sudden traumatic death. I've done it before. And so in a way, I could pick myself up and do it again. It was horrible to have to see my children walk that road. But I'm pretty gritty. I'm pretty strong. And I think I'm quite deft, I hope, at navigating life. And I thought, I've just got to keep the motor chugging on. And it did. It kind of then I got a job that led to another job that led to a job. And the momentum just built. And now I've had a really busy year. And I feel super grateful. And of course, the kids are like, can you be off work now? So I think that's part of it. Work momentum is really important in our profession. It's a really hard profession to keep going at. It's been difficult for a lot of people. Strikes, post-COVID, yeah, really difficult.
You said this is not the first time that you experienced grief that came after a traumatic event.
Yeah.
And somebody told me about grief before, that sometimes that second time you feel it, you're like, oh God, I remember this. Almost a muscle memory that's there in what you have to do.
Yeah, yes, exactly. But also when you have children,
yes, well, that's
a
whole
completely different framework.
Yeah.
When it happened to me when I was 24, I was very lonely. And I don't know, you could say that's sort of indulgent, but I was very isolated because no one had been through what I'd been through. I didn't know those people.
Yes.
And then when it happened with Rog, I saw it more as we've all got to keep it together for the kids. I also think there's something about being a woman in your 40s, and by then, if you're lucky enough, you will have succeeded in having the best friends and best people around you. You'll have stopped making mistakes in that area of your life, and I really did. I had exceptional friends, an exceptional support network.